Give him the trust.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as well, having the Tusk in that hot position where you can not only dodge out a lot of the Kunkka spells, but in lane, if you ever see your Enigma getting rocketed, well, you snowball the gyrocopter, you tank the rocket with the snowball, and then maybe you put your Enigma in, but at least you dodge off that damage. But you also get to see maybe the slight counter that we got to talk about on day 1 of the patch, but with the Eidolon range getting nerfed and with Gyro getting a little bit of a quality of life change on flat cannon, will this counter be even more powerful? We'll have to see, but because Gyro is a classic as well, easily one of his favorite heroes.
Yep. Very rarely got to see it though, just because of the nature of the hero, but G bringing it back a little bit here, and I mean, we get quite a bit, right? We get the Kaz Gyro, we get to see Matthew on the 4, Monkey King again, so it should be some exciting stuff, as already you see EG trying to set up here. They get themselves onto this little high ground spot. Honestly, if something comes their way, great, they can make a first blood play. If not, they already got this pretty damn valuable ward spot, so I think they're okay even if nothing comes their way, although they are still set up to maybe make a push for either of these bounties, which could still lead to an engagement for them, but we'll see where they actually go, because for now, Kaz is kind of bailing out of this one.
Yeah, he starts walking towards bottom. It looks like they're just going to get kind of the odd split with both river runes, which is something we don't usually see. And the monkey, okay, Chad's up, and with that, there is a lone bounty in the river, and it looks like it will just be a 2-2 split, even though maybe not a needed 2-2 split, but just lack of vision and knowing which ones to take. But okay, even start.
Yeah, not the 2-2 split we normally see, right? But yeah, all's well that ends well. Meanwhile, Pikaz has an interesting itemization here at the start. He's got 3 branches and his blades of attack, so he is just kind of rushing his way in there early, and I suppose Panda with the 2 full stacks of tangos could pass them over, but Pikaz is really taking a little bit of an early risk, assuming that there isn't going to be much pressure applied to him.
Yeah, and well, that's why he did it.
Yeah,
there you go. Crystal Nova, 2 hits, and that is why this man goes for this item build. Just too many stats, and this is where Devi, I honestly, I don't know the numbers, but up until maybe even level 3 Eidolons, that is a free play. So Devi, sure, still gets the deny, still gets the creep pushing back into him, but this is why Gyrocopter usually gets that respect band, and honestly, that's where I think missing on it a little bit. We'll see if that really bites Wildcard, because again, Vi's gonna get the XP. He's got the lane right near his tower. It's really difficult for him to get ganked, but it's just not that denying power and that same farming speed that we're used to seeing.
Solid opening there, because just going to try and farm as best as he can. Here comes the flak. Not enough to actually take him down this time, because Panda didn't get the Nova in, but at a certain point, the actual last hits are just kind of the icing on the cake. The main purpose is just get them out of the lane, and obviously that is accomplished quite nicely as the homing missile pushes the Tusk out. Alexo should be alright for now, and it's on a bit of an excursion here. Trying to secure maybe an early water rune. That is not what I meant by secure, but he will take it for himself. There was a bottle for Xantic, but
Dire's courier has been
he's going to get the other water rune, so he'll be just fine, but interesting play from the Tusk.
Yeah, and he just splits like that, mainly knowing that the Kunkka doesn't really want to go for it. Seasman will pick up a bottle, you know, maybe a little bit later, but instead, always focusing on the double bracer is way more typical.
Let's get that little durability up. Got to deal with the Shadow Strike spam, because that is going to be the call from Xantic here. 201 split in terms of the early skill build, and
Dire's courier has
I mean, why not? Sometimes we see the Queen of Pain try to cheat and max the Scream just for the farming potential, but even if you're not going to win the trades, you still need to commit to the trades against the Kunkka. Speaking of commitment, Panda a little bit overcommitted there in the bottom lane. Devi hits him up with the stun, and Kaz was too far away to help out.
Yeah, just a little inundated with creeps. They ended up going for a large camp pull, and even though the pull was successful and they were able to deny a lot of their own, getting double waved and then having Wildcard hit level 2, just the perfect storm to take out that CM. And
has been killed.
again, Alexo abusing this ward. This is the second courier he's been able to nab in the bottom lane. Still not ideal, and Pakaz is certainly not getting shut down, but they're getting slowly but surely what they want. And if you can't help your Enigma out, you try to help out the rest of the map. And Alexo's certainly going down the list of things to do as a 4 position. Got the bounty runes too. He's just doing the buy.
There's always a long list of backups in terms of your plan as a position 4 hero. So
Radiant
he's trying to make whatever impact he can wherever he can, but I don't know. Eventually they'll have to address Pakaz, right? But you can't really do it right now.
Yeah, just a problem. A problem that they'll deal with. Maybe they'll shoot him later. You know, I think that's where once the Hoodwink gets involved, then we could see that. But for top lane has been equally as quiet. Of course, not able to shut out the Primal Beast nearly as easily, but still, the pressure that Yuma can put onto Whisper, just casual pressure. Does have to be careful whenever he doesn't have the rage, but he's just having a pretty easy time. This is where top lane being an absolute draw is pretty much expected.
The supports are going to trade a little bit of damage back and forth, and Matthew was able to take down Yuma's courier there, so
catch you littering, bro.
You know, both of the position 4 heroes just trying to do a little bit more, but now they are going to make an attempt here onto Boris, and no point in scurry means you are not getting out of that one.
Yeah, and one of the unfortunate aspects is whenever he tramples, well, he cuts the tree. So it's where I think maybe putting the tusk top would actually have an escape, but just not in the works. As mid, TP's galore. It's Antic. I think he blinked. Yeah, able to blink out, but just a lot of damage traded out. Both mid laners going ham with the trades, and now Chris Luck kind of low. Might have to do a fountain TP, but that's why X is one of the best spells in the game.
Matthew, that was a very well-timed TP. It's just the Boundless wasn't quite off cooldown after the fight top. If it had been, maybe you could have stunned up at Xantic for the little bit of extra damage you would have needed, but yeah, at that point it's more about making sure that Chris Luck doesn't get taken down. And
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's used all his bottle charges now, so expect to see him make that XTP back. Boris?
Dire's middle tower.
Well, he's here, but yeah. Xantic really doesn't have the mana to go blinking across the river to try and start a fight.
Yeah, and with them knowing where the blink is, well, they're going to get gone on. 6-minute rune. They are going to fight, and base rune, you couldn't ask for a worse rune for Wildcard, because now
the snowball. Is he going to die to the DOT here? He very well might, yeah. They do manage to bring him down. I do believe Boris is going to pay for that one, but who cares? They take that trade. That's just really perfect for them. The haste rune doesn't have an impact. They still find the kill, and of all the heroes to lose, Boris is the one you could really afford to sacrifice.
Ooh, haste rune certainly made it close, though. Closer than it really ever should have been. But no, I guess maybe an illusion would have made it even closer, but not going to think about it. But they get their man, they get the kill. Cookin now probably just wants to wait for his level 6, and then honestly, all 3 heroes on Wildcard probably die if he does have that ghost shift. But in the meantime, not much. Kenwood rotates over as well. Just supports already being in position to fight over this mid vision, and already even getting set up for the 8-minute runes. Just biding their time, knowing that their lane partners are going to be okay. It's where a bit more space has been given over to Devi, but Devi is also, well, no black hole on the wrong side of the woods, but support's coming, or trying to come.
There's a homing missile flying out, so Devi is going to get locked down, and that should set up Chris Luck to finish the kill, or maybe not. The snowball actually going to prevent him from getting the damage out immediately, but the ghost shift still does the work.
Deep 6.
Devi taking down. Alexo falls as well. Almost a mad scramble at the end there, ET, but G get their kills. Boots coming out to Chris Luck. Of course, that was his level 6, so now you don't have Ghost Ship to go elsewhere, but really you couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to immediately use that ult for kills.
Just Feels great. Still keeping the pressure on the Enigma, even though Devi has found farm and has found openings to get some of those levels. And once he hits level 6, that's where Pakaz needs to be careful. Don't want to give up a kill immediately to the Enigma. It's where very little will actually take to actually kill him. Because it's Antic. He blinked for the rune.
Snowball. That'll buy time. 1 second for Blink. Can he get himself away? Yes, he can. So that means that Alexo is going to be left behind. Nice push right though in from Morris. There's going to be the Sonic Wave to follow. It's a lot of damage, but they need more. Yuma is crawling his way over. Will he be able to catch up to anybody? Not like that. Boundless Strike kind of shuts that down. And if you're EG, you're relatively happy you got the kill, but if you're Wildcard, you're just happy that that kill was not your queen of pain.
I mean, four heroes mid, but you know, the aggression drags. And yeah, bottom. Okay, it's close. That was the black hole, and because is now on the lamb, but if he can just TP back to his tower, TP back to well. Yep. And now, Devi doesn't have much of a home to stay in back towards bottom. Once the gyro comes back, well, just a solo play that Devi thought he could make, but didn't have earn charges. If he had a friend, that was 100% a kill, but thinks he can do it on his own.
Very unfortunate series of circumstances there for Devi. Puts him out of the action for a good long while.
Tower is under attack.
Well, I guess the question will be, yeah, who comes here to try and punish him? Panda is in. Whisper's going to charge. It's the trample. Malefice, though, is going to hold him back for a moment, but will it be enough? Maybe, because Alexo comes in. Take down Panda. The pulverize will not be enough damage for the kill, and all of a sudden, Whisper, you're a little bit too far forward. He is going to back himself away, and Devi will not be killed. He's going to lose his Eidolons here, but he's going to be okay with that, especially if you can turn this around, because there's still 4 heroes here. Because didn't realize, can anyone help him? Here comes Whisper, in with the charge, into the trample. That doesn't really help his teammate, but maybe he can find some sort of return kill. He is pushing quite nicely, and with Panda back in, they got onto one. It's Antic. I don't know about this. Yeah, there's the pulverize. He is dropping low. Can he be finished off? Yes, he can. Frostbite from Panda gets the job done, and Zantic, it would have forced a deny, if nothing else, if he had just sort of backed off and let the Shadow Strike do its business. Instead, he gets a little greedy, and he ends up dying for it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Yuma wasn't interested in all in that engagement. And Panda, well, probably dead. Got a little bit too close to the tower, a little overzealous on the CM. But
Dire's middle tower.
It's amazing that Defy is the one that doesn't die out of everything there with how low he was to start off that engagement. But that was a real bad minute for Pakaz. The Gyrocopter spent a whole lot of time walking to the lane, walking out of the lane, not having his TP. Not the best time for the Gyrocopter. It's why the Lifestealer takes a little bit of a pull ahead of him, but now Pakaz is where he wants to be with as few heroes as possible, and now hopefully in a farming war versus the Lifestealer, really not too much to worry about in that lane.
It comes down to a farming war. The Gyrocopter should have the edge, working his way towards the Aghanim Scepter, so he's going to have even more to work with in terms of his ability to just find as much gold as humanly possible. And while this is going down, you know, Matthew makes his way over towards the middle lane, gets a little bit of experience, hits level 6, holding the point for the time being, so I don't know. Maybe he doesn't look for the Wukong's command immediately, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But you're able to get the supports a little bit more here and leave them in a better position to actually help if it does come down to more team fights. Speaking of fights, Whisper is in a little bit of trouble here. Does Alexo actually want to go all the way in, though? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The Pulverize is going to catch him. The Wukong's command comes out. The Boundless Strike is there as well. The Ghost Ship, though, mistimed. Well, no, it's not, because it wasn't actually targeting Alexo. It was targeting Devi. They're going to be able to finally get this Enigma. There we go. It's like the third attempt that they've made on him now, but this one does hit home.
Just the Primal Beast keeping the pressure on the lane. It's just such a real easy setup for that Kunkka. And then eventually, you're going to have to see the Kunkka just walk back mid. He didn't have to use the boat, then he could stick around bottom and look to kill Devi on his TP, but mid tower is taking quite a bit of damage. We need people to start arriving. BD on the clock as well, making it a lot less close, but Alexo gets scouted, and he's got a friend. Gonna try to get the trade in. What a Sonic Wave, but
now he's rooted though. The Frostbite's gonna catch him out. The Freezing Field's being channeled. He doesn't have a blink. Matthew will just TP himself home. Whisper was faking out the right clicks in case the deny was necessary, but Zantic understand what the attempt was there, right? You get in, you Sonic Wave, you stop the charge, and it all looks good, but he just didn't know Panda was right behind him until it was too late.
Then max level Frostbite. Keep on seeing CM's own teams, because, yeah, it's pretty darn crazy, but also Quap's rule. You blink in, you will die. That's how the hero works. It's where once we have BKB, maybe, we can think about other things, but Xantic is also really slowed down net worth-wise. Just hasn't really been able to get all too much out of the game. Okay, TP top, infest Alexo, get a smoke going. Looking for the gyro, farming his triangle, and they will narrowly avoid Panda, but then to get scouted by the tail end, but Costo falls into it.
He's just going to hold his ground. He's going to throw out that call down. It's not going to be enough to save him. Maybe they get a kill onto Alexo here. Yeah, they will find the kill, but over on the other side of the map, Whisper goes in with Chris Lux, so they'll take Divine Llama out. That's going to make this a pretty favorable trade at the moment, but with Yuma getting involved, Panda may end up going down here. Not quite. He pops the Frostbite. He gets the slow. He's walking away. Whisper now. TP's in and charges forward, so they'll take out Boris. And Wildcard, have they overextended again? He's looking for the Pulverize in another 5 seconds, so they need to keep heroes locked in place. It's Xantic going to get pulled back by the X into the boat. Not the boat, excuse me, into the Torrent and the Frostbite. Again, that Frostbite really just shuts it down, and Xantic is waiting, but this is also a level 1 blink, so it's on the longest possible cooldown, and what was initially a very nice play onto Because turns into a nightmare for the Wildcard lineup.
Oh, and rewind the clock all the way to that point because didn't even die. He got killed by the beast. He got killed by neutral creeps. They didn't even get gold for that. So really, the only thing they have going for them is that Yuma was able to walk out of everything. Yeah, it's the hard kill as well. At least the Vi has a blink dagger now, so he can look for those faster engagements. Don't know if really the Primal Beast is the target, but that's where having 2 strength cores in your lineup, you have to settle for trying to just blow up one, and then you're going to run out of gas for the other. It's where really the Kunkka and the Primal Beast play so nicely with each other. And Whisper has a full Lotus Orb. Wow. So if they wanted to go diving on him anyway, well, you have to be so careful with the Snowball connection, with the Malefice. Everything's just going to get Lotused off of you. Just, you know, it's something we don't usually see, but feels so nice in this game, and is probably going to allow Whisper to stay bottom even longer.
Meanwhile, Matthew on a very deep warding mission there, hopping through the trees. It's the obs down, so if anybody's trying to farm up in that east side jungle, they'll be spotted, and now, well, I don't know if they're going to be able to get that kill. But over on the other side, Because has gotten himself into trouble again. There's no neutrals this time to bail him out. And that is the downside here. You're trying to maximize your efficiency on the gyrocopter, sending him out alone, but that does mean if the enemy comes knocking, he is completely alone.
Is under attack.
Yep, just caught him in the farm rotation, and now, most importantly, they can't lose the Vi again bottom, even though they are casually setting up here. God, I feel so bad for him. Every single time he casts Idol on, he just doesn't have Idol. It's too many heroes are just adept at killing them this game, but he does have a Blink Dagger, so his moment is coming. This is where I think getting a team fight in mid where everybody is directed a little bit with the terrain might help him out, and there's Blink out of bottom. So revealed to Whisper that that Blink Dagger is online, but is able to walk out of that situation, and they should pretty soon here try to involve Devi, because this black hole, it's not on cooldown, it's not getting any sooner. Gotta find some nice picks top though. Top the CM while she was dewarding.
Dire's middle tower
Take Panda down, remove the sentry ward. To establish some degree of safety and order in that lane so that they can just continue to farm it, but at the same time, they did just lose their tower mid. Chris Luck, now he's going to get some damage onto Xantic, but he might want to be careful. Here comes the snowball. He does have BKB. He didn't opt to use it immediately, though. He's going to try to hold, and while he holds their attention mid, Devi ended up getting taken down in the bottom lane. They kill him and TP out, so now, yeah, the focus is just too split. Half the lineup's down bot, the other half's mid, so Alexo is kind of the one left in the lurch, and Kaz gets a measure of revenge for those couple of pickoffs by taking the Tusk down.
Now, he's exactly where he wants to be. He's farming a triangle. He's farming your triangle, and is now stealing from you. The Life Stealer walking underneath 2 wards. Well, this is not a place for Yuma to farm and play in. And now Yuma TPing down here feels real awkward. He has to walk the long way around now to that left side jungle. There's just nothing for him to do really here unless he wants to hop inside the Devi, and he could hop inside Devi and they look for a smoke play, but They got to go now, and then as soon as they do, they have to get control of their triangle back. Otherwise, it's never going to be an area to play in. And I think that's why they're grouped up right now. Hop in and then maybe go, or I don't think waiting is really an option because they're getting more and more prepared to fight, and they're de-warding you at the same time.
Here comes Whisper. Trample is going to be there. The Malphus, though, instantly cancels his Pulverize. With that Lotus, it just makes him hard to bring down. They're not going to be able to get him immediately. The Snowball does connect onto Chris Luck, but the Boundless Strike from Matthew is going to lock Alexo down. Now they get the Frostbite to buy. Well, they've already sort of a major attempt with the Black Hole, so he doesn't have a whole lot to do here. As they turn it into a 1-for-1 trade for now, but a hasted Chris Luck is pushing his way forward. Can he find anything? He's still holding the Ghost Ship. They're not going to press their luck. That is a tier 2 tower mid, maybe a little bit too far, and Pakaz has already kind of given them the heads up that he does not want to be involved.
Well, and at least he used Black Hole. You know, could be worse. But like I said, more importantly, getting this vision out of bottom is where we need to see a rotation in from Boris, but he's already moving towards top. He's just looking to play the lane instead. I'm just worried about the smoke rotations that could come as it's Xantic. It's gone on mid. It's the easiest connection ever. Also tries, but fails to make anything happen. And he's going in deep. He's on Whisper. There is no creep wave. Oh, okay.
Okay. Misclicked pause, and yeah, Alexo is, he's gonna cancel out the freezing field, I suppose, but now how does he get out of this fight? He doesn't. That's the answer to that question. And now Yuma, they're going to force out his rage, but now that the rage is down, Whisper says, let me try to get in there, but there's not really a lot he can do. He's already used his Pulverize, so just an effort to push Yuma all the way off the tower. Unfortunately, if you're EG, you can't really go for that tower because your creep wave is miles behind right now.
Yeah, forces them to wait maybe a little bit, but again, waiting while your gyrocopter's farming and hunting, not connecting, but Whisper. Yeah, he smells him. He's right on the money. I don't think with that ward they see him, but they get a glimpse, and with 7 seconds on his blink, this is just 4 heroes on 1. There's nothing you can do if you're the Enigma there. Still working on his BKB, but yeah, just again, more vision placed towards bottom, just continuing to bully anyone that comes here, just locking the Enigma completely out of this game. And the only other play for Wildcard would be to really force Roshan, but Yuma's not strong enough to 1v1 him, so instead they're just going to kind of have to sit and play around this.
Clear as clean water.
Finally realized what's been happening here. The little sidebar has said that Whisper has purchased this Lotus 3 times. I think he keeps disassembling it for mana boots, pops some mana boots, disassembles those, and then reassembles the Lotus repeatedly. So maximum efficiency, I guess, but it was freaking out the item purchasing tooltip. And now that he's got phase boots picked up, BT, I think we're done with those shenanigans, but it was kind of funny while it lasted. This is not funny if you're to buy though. This is just a straight up depth, and you can't afford to be in this lane anymore. Neither can Boris. Yeah, you don't want to be there, and by the time they realize that, it's way too late.
Yeah, I feel like this is EG's just slam dunk. Every single lane is kill threat, everybody has global potential, and that's an Orchid reveal on the Lifestealer who needs his Tusk, and Tusk
doesn't hit him. He's not dead yet though, but there's the freezing field. His TP will just barely get off, so he is safe, ET. For varying definitions of the word, but Alexo has to sacrifice himself.
Yep, just a blink in and a blink reveal on the Tusk as well. They didn't know about it before that point, but great toggles from Yuma. You know, gotta give praise to the LS, but still getting ran at. Every single tower is defended. Every single time you try to push on the lanes, you're getting killed. That vision bottom is finally dealt with, though. They just have the Tinker Ward now, but knowing EG, I feel like somehow they're going to work that into their game plan. But in the meantime, they're working to just take away all of your outer towers here, and they can swing for Roche. They've got almost a full Satanic on Pakaz. He's got the crit stick, so he definitely does enough damage if somebody can tank for him. And here we are. Wildcard, you have to come, but without that revised BKB, I don't think they can really afford to take a fight where Black Hole's just going to get canceled again.
Yeah, they're not even moving their way towards it. They're just going to have to let it go. So that's 3 Aegis. Presumably... Oh, I said presumably into Pakaz's hands. Yeah, makes the space for it at the last second, shuffles the Windlace into the backpack, and well, the gyrocopter is now kind of ready to go. He's been very selective, let's put it that way, in terms of which fights he actually goes to, just because He'd been farming up so well, not getting involved. But now with 2 lives, you got to assume Picasso is going to be the one kind of leading the charge.
Radiant structures are
Yeah, and it's, you know, not the fastest push, but it's just free. It's where Wildcard, they're doing what they got to do in mid, getting the play going, and Matthew, that'd be a nice pick, but Whisper's already there to make the counter jump, and Whisper, he's got 5 stacks, he's got the upward, he's got a rocket throw as well, but Yuma does just rage TP out what he's allowed to do, but at least they get the tower.
Tower claimed, but it did come at the cost of their own tier 2 on the other side of the map, so nothing's going to come without a cost. I suppose that is the lesson to... Oh, no. The lesson to be learned here is Defy gets his TP canceled by the rock throw. Yeah. Just got to sit here and wait for death. There is absolutely no way you pop Black Hole in this instance. And Defy... The last 15 minutes have just been about as bad as possible for the Enigma player.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just virtue of all 3 EG cores being able to deal with you pretty much exactly as they want. It just ends up feeling like a situation that he himself just never had the opportunity to do. Just ended up in kind of a bad Enigma game, you know? It's hard to say, but that's what it ended up feeling like. And then, again, a very difficult draft to look for those bans as Whisper. Oh, he just goes. Wow. Get you early, get you fast, and hey, Glyph doing a lot of damage, and Whisper might just go down, but okay.
Can they turn this into more? Xantic's already popped his BKB, so he's got to be careful pushing in. But that bushwhack, okay, it'll catch out too. That's going to sort of disrupt things a little bit, but because with the Aegis feels like pushing his way forward, able to take down. Oh, Divide, it's just a nightmare. Nothing can possibly go his way. And that's it. Fight's done. Yuma's just going to try to get back into the base. Maybe he makes it, but how unfortunate can one man be? It's starting to feel a little bit unfair.
Now, just, we don't have Glyph, we don't have anything. Yuma's just gonna have to kind of sit back and watch. If he tries to do anything without Rage, without Infest, he's probably gonna die, so we'll just have to watch his tier 3 go, but oh, he's into a torrent. You can't ask for a better comedy, honestly, at this point, but Daedalus on the gyrocopter as well. He will give some respect to his opponents without Aegis, without BKB. Kaz is not a madman, but yeah. Oh boy.
I'm surprised he's still in the server at this point. I would have quit like 5 minutes ago. This is so bad for him, and now he's gonna get punished again. Oh boy. You will be taken down once more. What's the record here? 2-9-5. Not a fun time, but I don't know, ET. Maybe the BKB changes something. It's just okay. This might change something too. Whisper. Oh no, the Lotus. Alexa's going to try to pull him back as far as he can. They do get the bushwhack down onto him into the Sonic Wave, so they might still find the kill. But this has bought a lot of time for EG to get the rest of the lineup in. They're going to go for it. There's the roof, there's the freezing field, there's the call down on top of it. Yuma's dead, and Xantic has to blink back. And they are in full retreat. Alexo, how far away can you pull these heroes?
Dire's top tower.
Well, he can pull them pretty far away. The problem is Matthew has the movement to keep up with them, so this is not really going to go the way he wants it to. He'll just try to fight for as long as he can, but here comes Panda. Has to wait a moment as the snowball will delay this, but it can only delay. It can't prevent the death.
And because on the other side, you know, getting business done, as he is the serious member of EG and honestly old Thunder Awaken, but it just works. He's going to be able to mop up the top Rex, immediately swing for mid, still abusing the Glyph. And sure, Glyph is back up, but Wildcard are almost assuredly going to try and use it for damage on that bottom tier 3. They need the tower damage. Everybody is just not farmed enough to take out these massive cores. It's where, again, strength cores, the numbers are just too high. There's a full Hex as well on Chris Luck, so could blow the game wide open if, let's say, Xantic blinks in and isn't privy to that, because that is a blind purchase. They are not aware of it just yet with the Kunkka. So here we are, the last racks, the last tier 3.
Tabai gets caught out of the base, so he is not available. There's no buyback, he's dead for 40. And they're just starting to fall apart. Yuma with his BKB is holding on the front line, but he's not going to hold for long, and there's your GG. Wildcard just get overwhelmed here in game 2. And BT, to a certain extent, we kind of talked about this possibility, right? 24 picks, something was going to come out. EG had the hammer, and Wildcard do certainly get flattened by it.